Live here, dear. All right, we're live. We're live. All right, K4PEW, just testing here before we get started. Everything looks pretty good.
You got audio tonight.
Dang, I got it right. Tell you, the Alzheimer's gave me a break tonight.
And I forgot to remind you.
Yeah, very good. Is the frequency not in use? And it's not in use, I'm pretty sure. Let me just make a couple of adjustments here. Hang on one second. All right, I think it's all right. This is K4PEW, net control for the Mount Juliet Simplex radio net. Is there any emergency or party traffic? Nothing heard. If there is, just jump right in there and tell us, and we'll be glad to help you in any way we can. But you really need to call 911 first if you're able. If not, just give us a ring. We'll be happy. We'll either do it on the air, or we'll drive over to your house, or call them for you, or what do we have to do? You can see our information. You can see our web, not our web. You can see our net right now on YouTube. It's Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey. Just look it up on YouTube search block, Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey. You can subscribe to it there if you like. Hit like too. That's a cool thing to do, I guess. It just gets more views that way, and it gets more exposure for for Simplex. And we've gotten a lot of exposure with Simplex here and elsewhere. I've gotten several messages around the country relating to the both the website and from the YouTube videos. Anyway, you can look us up there on, again, that's on YouTube, MJ. Just look it up under M. Yeah, get it right. I'm in here. K4PEW. K4PEW in the search block. You think I remember my call. Or you can look us up on our 146415 website. 146415, mysteriously similar to our frequency here, 146415, and it's .net. Although if you looked it up, you'd still get us anyway. It would show up, I think, on top. And you can see us also on the groups.io page, groups.India Oscar, and just search for MJSS. Or you can email me at K4PEW@ARRL. I think there's two R's in it, ARRL.net. Because I can also send you an invite if you can't seem to find the right page on the groups.io page. I also sent out for all of I think everybody's on the list, got a complete list of all the people who have joined the group, so to speak, on the groups.io page, which I think there's 112 or so, or 113, something like that, which is astounding, really. Any club would be happy to have that number. At any rate, we conduct the net every Wednesday and Saturday at 8 p.m. on this frequency, 146415. Tonight we do the net on 146415 FM. And then we follow it up with a 10-meter net on 28.415. Tomorrow night we've got the Bowling Green net, and that's Thursday, of course. It's at 7:30 p.m. and that's on 146430. And then we have the Wilson County Amateur Radio Club's net tomorrow night on their repeater, which is the 147.105 plus offset and a PL of 156.7. And that's at 8 o'clock tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. So you got a net at 7:30, you got a net at 8 o'clock if you wish to participate in both of those. Both good nets. You're going to have a little bit of an antenna to talk to the Bowling Green net because it's 65 miles from me, and sometimes I have trouble. Also, the last note is breakfast on Saturday at Charlie Daniels Park, Pavilion 5. That's at 8 a.m. You can show up with your own coffee. You don't have to touch anybody. I would suggest everyone wear a mask. And even if you're not wearing a mask, I suggest that you stay. The pavilion's big enough. It's really a very big pavilion. So you can stay isolated, and it's pretty quiet in the park. 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning, we can talk without and still be 12 feet away. So that's what we've been doing recently. Let's see. I don't think I have anything else. And anybody else have any announcements or questions? No, I guess not. Very good. This is our 603rd net. Again, we'll be on our finishing up our 6th year in September, which is only a couple of months away. Which is still, it's astounding to me that I've lasted this long. but it's only because you guys check in. If there was nobody checking in, I would have quit some time ago. But anyway, we're starting from the west tonight. Again, no questions, no corrections, no special announcements, nothing. All righty, well then we'll start taking check-ins from the west. West of Mount Juliet, please come now.
AM4YRF, Mike in Belshire.
Very good. We got Michael, KM Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot in Belshire. Who else we got west?
KG4 CXC, Chris and Dalton.
Very good. We got Chris, Kilo Juliet. No. Is it Kilo Juliet or I forget what it was. KG4. Couldn't even read my script. It's KG4 CXE, is it not?
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah, very good. I just kind of scribbled the G here with my pencil. Anyway, Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo with his not even broken in 991 radio that he got this past week. I know he's pretty happy with it. He just wishes he had a tower or an antenna outside somewhere. Who else is west? Please come in.
KG4 ILD, Jack and Donaldson.
Very good, Jack. Good to have you in there. Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor. Hang on one second. I need to turn up my volume here at this end. There we go. Now I can hear it. I can hear it. I just want to make sure everybody who's on YouTube can also hear it. Who else is west? Please come down.
Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo, John in Bellevue.
Very good. There's a double in there, but I got John in there, covered the other fellow up. That's Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo in Bellevue. Who was the other person?
Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo, Greg and Antioch.
Greg in Antioch. Did I get that right? Greg in Antioch?
That's right. Kilo Delta.
Very good. That's Kilo Delta 4 Charlie. Is it Uniform Echo or Victor Echo? I just can't even read my writing again.
Victor Echo.
Yeah, I need to make the V with a point at the bottom. Have you ever noticed that? Anyway, that's Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. That's Greg. He's in Antioch. Good signal, by the way, out of Antioch. Of course, you're pretty close to me. I was surprised, John, at your signal. The conditions are still good from the west, so you're doing great. Michael KM4YRF. Is Rick not in there tonight?
I'm not sure. He may have to work late.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Very good. Okay, having work come before ham world. Okay, I get it. All right. Now that's the way it's supposed to be, by the way. Work and family come way before ham radio. Who else is west? Please come in.
And 5 TAW, David in Madison.
All right, David in Madison. Good to have you in there. Good signal. That's it. November 5 Tango Alpha Whiskey. Who else is west? Moving to the south then, south of Davidson. Well, that's south of Mount Juliet. I'll say it that way.
KR4AZ.
Hey, Tim, you doing all right?
Yes, sir. I'm doing fine, Paul. Just want to tell you, I appreciate all you do on the net here, website. Doing a fine job. And just want to get checked in tonight. 73s, carry on. KR4AZ.
All right, I'll send you the money later, okay, Tim? That was Kilo Romeo 4 Alpha Zulu with kind words, which I appreciate as well. But even the bad words, I keep going anyway. You got to keep going. There's a Tim. He's in Murfreesboro. Who else is south?
Comment.
Hey, go ahead, Michael.
Charles is trying to check yes. KG4 SFF.
If he probably can hear me. Can he try again?
Yeah, he can't make it.
Nope, I can't hear him at all. All right, we had Charles checking in via our relay. That's Kilo Golf 4 Sierra Foxtrot. So did he say where he was?
Laverne, I believe.
Okay, in Laverne. Yeah, Laverne on a whatever he's using, one of Eddie's 1 watt HTs. Anyway, that was Charles, Kilo Golf 4 Sierra Foxtrot in Laverne. Who else is Sal?
Kilo India 4, Kilo Nevada 4, Victor Tango Hotel.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Victor Tango Hotel. I think I heard David in Reedyville there. Kilo India 4, November Delta November. That was you, wasn't it, David?
That was me, KI4NDN. Good evening, Paul. Appreciate everything you're doing, sir. good evening, everybody on the net.
Yeah, very good. By the way, David, Kilo India 4, November Delta. November is instrumental in doing the Rutherford County Net on a monthly basis on the first Tuesday of every month. Starts at 7:30, and it's worth checking into. We had I help out occasionally. Last night I think it was at 19 or 20. It was undetermined whether it was 18, 19, or 20 check-ins.
Yeah, we call it whatever you want to. It depends on who's calling it, okay?
Yeah, well, since you were net control, it has to be 20. Somebody else says 17. They're wrong.
I know. It was all jumbled up. There was lots of relays, so it was a little bit confusing, but we appreciate your help. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, very good. I'm glad Russell grabbed that issue too over there in Murfreesboro. He's doing a good job.
Yeah, one at a time. Thank you, sir.
All right, David, again, Kilo India 4, November Delta, November. By the way, we send out reminders on that Rutherford County Net on the reflector on groups.io in case somebody wants to participate. And again, it's a Simplex Net, covers all of Rutherford County. The Victor Tango Hotel, who is that again?
KN4 VTH.
Very good. First name again, please.
Mike.
All right, Mike. Where are you located again? I'm sorry.
I'm on the backside of Antioch. I'm pretty close to Hobson Pike.
All right, very good. That's Mike. Pretty close to Hobson Pike, he says. Kilo November 4, Victor Tango Hotel. What are you doing for a rig and antenna over there?
Have a Yaesu 8900R and a Comet GP6, and it's the tip of that's about 45 feet off my driveway deck.
It's doing a great job for you. The 8900 is the crossband repeat model?
Yeah, it has dual FFOs, 4-band.
Oh, yeah. The only problem I have with those radios is that we so infrequently use 6 and 10 meters, on FM.
Yeah, I don't even bother with the lower stuff on this one because it would really need a different antenna. So I just keep this as a VHF, UHF upper. So.
It's a nice radio, though. Don't get me wrong. It's I used it quite a bit, and that radio has been around for, my gosh, at least, holy man, 2005 maybe. It's a nice radio. I think that's why they keep producing.
Yeah, it has a lot of good features. It works well for me. That's all I can say. It's a decent thing.
Well, we did a radical thing. Quickly said, we had some of those at the hospital where I was participated in a kind of an emergency services club. It wasn't Aries connected, but we mounted the antenna on the 11th story, and we mounted the radio right underneath the 11th story in a little it's a little utility room, and then ran the cable, the RJ45 I think is cable, all the way down 11 stories down to the head down in the basement. So we didn't have to run cable, any kind of a coax cable all the way up to the roof.
Yeah, that's a pretty good run. But I think the cool thing about these radios is the dual. You can monitor 2 stations at once, and that's pretty neat.
Yeah, and it's not an outrageously priced radio either. I mean, it's moderately priced, I think.
Yeah, I think they're around about $350.
Yeah, exactly. I've got a similar one, but it's Kenwood's model, and it doesn't have the FM on 6 meters or 10 meters, though. It just has the 2 meters and 70 centimeters, and it's got receive on 220 and some of the other stuff, all the other 2 meter and 70 centimeter stuff, but I don't use it for any, well, I don't use it for much, and I do use the crossband repeat, though. I have fun with it. Anyway, that was Mike. Kilo November 4, Victor Tango Hotel near Hobson Pike. Who else is Sal?
Echo 4, Sierra Yankee Victor.
Very good. Yeah, it was Kilo Echo 4, Sierra Yankee Victor, and that's Larry and Rockville. I think there was a double. Good to have you in there, Larry. Who else was in there?
Whiskey Victor 4 Delta.
Hey, Ken. Good to hear you in there. This is what, your second time on in there?
I think so. My mind is so forgetful, and I wrote a note and stuck it on my monitor after we chatted today. Go on the net tonight.
Yeah, no. It's so funny as you grow older, things become, somebody, I'll be writing something. I'll be looking on the web for something, and then I get distracted by anything, passing cars, and then I look back at the monitor and I go, "The heck was I looking for?" It's I find it kind of funny sometimes, but not always. Anyway, that was Ken. He's in Smyrna. Whiskey Victor 4 Delta. And the second time on the net. Glad to have you there, Ken. Of course, we talk almost every day for a few minutes. Who else is Sal?
November 8th, Papa Yankee.
Hey, how you doing, Russ? Man, you almost got an award this month for not participating. You know that?
Oh, man. Shoot, I wish I'd known, man. I messed it up.
Yeah, you miss a month, you get a congratulatory email. And then 6 months gets you a certificate, and a year gets you a plaque.
Okay, I'll do better next time. Good evening, Paul.
Yeah, very good. Good to have you in there, Rusty. That's Rusty in Murfreesboro, November 8th. Papa Yankee. Who else is South?
Thanks for mentioning plaque. I need to go get me some toothpaste.
There you go. We already should have checked in. You were you were west. Are you going to check in there, Alan?
Yeah, but I'm facing east right now though. So.
You're doing your prayers.
I've got one knee down. Yes, sir.
I just figure you're facing Mecca. That's to the east.
Comment.
What do you want, Richard?
Got my carpet rug out tonight. Go ahead.
What's up, Richard?
I'm actually hearing Rusty over in Murfreesboro tonight for some reason, and I just think I heard John in Bellevue.
You heard John at Bellevue. Oh my gosh, that's a red letter day.
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, let's check in on East. All right, we'll get back to that. We had Alan, Whiskey 4 Echo. It's Echo Alpha Charlie, is it not, Alan?
QSL.
Yeah, you didn't ID. That's why I asked. That's Alan. He's in Donaldson. Whiskey 4 Echo Alpha Charlie. I'm pretty sure there's nobody who doesn't know you. Oh, maybe there's a couple of new guys. And I heard, we'll go Richard, and when you get around to the East. Who else is South? Nobody to the South. Over to the East then.
Whiskey Alpha 4 Zulu Hotel India. James in Mount Juliet.
All righty. We had James here in beautiful downtown. Well, there's kind of a downtown, but not much of one. Mount Juliet. He's over northeast of the library. It's Whiskey Alpha 4 Zulu Hotel India. Good to have you in there, James. Family doing well?
Yeah, doing pretty good.
Good. Glad to hear it. If it wasn't for family, I wouldn't have any problems at all. You know that. Who else is South or East? South or East?
Kilo India 4 Sierra India Bravo KI4SOR.
All righty. It's Richard and his lovely bride, Daphne. And that's Kilo India 4 Sierra India Bravo and Kilo India 4 Sierra Oscar Romeo. Was there a double in there?
KE4 TWR.
I got you in there. Good to have you in there. West, that's West near Watertown. Kilo Echo 4 Tango Whiskey India. Your signal's pretty good tonight.
Yours too. Everybody sounded good.
I know, you're like whatever that is, S7 to me, so you're doing real good. That's normally, under the old conditions, you were lucky to be S2 or 3, so you're doing great. Again, Kilo Echo 4 Tango Whiskey India. Now everybody's got a list, at least in their inbox. If you're on the mailing list, by the way, you did get a complete list of everyone who's on the net, and you can, while I didn't put down their grid squares or their locations, you can always look up their locations. You can check off or monitor who you can hear and who you can't hear, and kind of get maybe the next list I'll do that. I'll add the maybe the town and the grid square or something like that. Anyway, who else is East? Please come on. One more time, a little scratchy there. Okay, I think I heard the Kilo 4. One more time. Did I hear Kilo 4 in there?
Kilo 4 LLC. Logan.
It is Logan. Okay, very good. He must still be on his HT, and that's Kilo 4 Lima Charlie. And good to have you in there, Logan. Logan's over in he's in Lebanon. That's where he is, isn't it?
November 4th. Correction, Infor LLC. Yes, he is here in Lebanon.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I've only talked to him a couple of times, and I guess I should have known it was N, but it's hard for me to remember those 113 calls that are on there. Who else? Good to have you in there, Logan, by the way. Logan's relatively new ham over in Lebanon. Who else is east?
W4EBX.
W4EBX. You finished your painting?
Yeah, I'm actually in my radio room tonight, not on the porch. So thanks for everything you do, Paul. You made a good group of ham. You got us all together there. W4EBX.
Yeah, for better or worse. That's it's kind of like being married. We have who shows up. If you don't really like it, you have to just not get on the net, I guess. Anyway, that's Whiskey 4 Echo Bravo X-Ray, and that's Eddie. He's over in Gladeville. Who else is east? Anybody else east? Please come in.
WR0U, Scott out here in Tucker's Crossroads.
Very good. That's Scott in Tucker's Crossroads, and he is Whiskey Romeo Oscar uniform. That's an interesting call. I take it that was a vanity call, right?
Yeah, it's Whiskey Romeo 0 uniform, WR0U. You owe me a speaker.
He's got a real loud audio, I know. It is Whiskey Romeo 0 uniform, correct, Scott?
Yeah, QSL there, Paul.
Ah, very good. Yeah, you got a good strong audio tonight. Are you using anything special over there?
No, just the same old 20-year-old junk.
Well, it's not junk if it still functions properly. All right, very good. Scott, Whiskey Romeo 0 uniform near Tucker's Corner with the 20-year-old junk, which works fine. Who else east?
Kilo Oscar 4 Charlie Victor uniform.
Ah, very good. Kilo Oscar 4 Charlie Victor uniform, and I think that's Steve over here in Middle Wilson County.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Very good. I get to remember people after a while. When I meet you in person someday, I even remember better. It's just it's a personal touch, I guess. And again, Stephen, Kilo Oscar 4 Charlie Victor uniform. He's over here near 109 in Wilson County, between Lebanon and the big city of Mount Juliet. I can't believe that Lebanon actually is smaller than Mount Juliet. That still stuns me, because when I moved here 9 years ago, Mount Juliet was the little town, and Lebanon was the big city, kind of. Who else is east? Please come in.
Okay, I'm 4HQ, Stan, Lebanon.
Hey, very good, Stan. Good to have you in there. Stan in Lebanon, just north of downtown, the big city of Lebanon. That's Kilo Mike 4 Hotel Quebec Echo. You sound good tonight too. Are you hearing any other stations better tonight, Stan?
I'm not sure. I still have the beam up. I haven't put the vertical back up.
Yeah, it gives you kind of a distorted view, doesn't it? Because you probably got it pointed almost due west, don't you?
Roger.
Yeah, very good. Who else is east? Please come in. All right, then over to the north. Anybody north to Alaska, north to Kentucky, north to Ohio.
Mark, Northwest Wilson.
Hey, hold on, Mark. I had Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo first, and that's Frank. He's in Northwest Wilson. Good signal tonight, Frank. You covered up Mark pretty good. Mark, how you doing tonight?
Oh, 8 more power. I'm doing fine.
All right, I'm going to ask you again for your call, because I already forgot it. It's November. Man, say it. KN4. I'm going to see if I can remember it correctly, because I'm going to screw it up. KN4. No. Give me a call again.
Whiskey Bravo 0, November Oscar.
I couldn't have got it more wrong, That's why I stopped.
Yeah, you were about as far away as you get.
I realized it when I was going down the wrong path. I said, nah, I'm not going to embarrass myself any more than that. You'd think I'd know your call after all this time. I don't know. I think yours throws me a little bit, because it's another one of those 0 calls. And besides you, Scott has one. He's new to the group with that Whiskey Romeo 0 uniform. So what prompted you to have the 0 call?
I was in Cedar Rapids when I got licensed. I was WN9 as a novice, and then got transferred off to Cedar Rapids and got licensed there.
Yeah, you're one of those diehards that, which I don't blame you, by the way, in keeping your original call, because that way your identity never changes.
Yeah, I've been so hot and cold in this hobby that I get into it for a while, and then I get out for a while, and then I retired and got back in.
Yeah, right. Well, you were in the communications business anyway, were you not?
Yeah, for about 40 years.
Oh, you were just to see if sticking around to see if you liked it.
Yep. And I think I got my first communications industry job in '68.
Oh boy, yeah, that's you know how to twist the knobs, that's for sure. Well, very good. That was Mark, and he's in Northwest Wilson as well, over by the U.S. Weather Service. That's Whiskey Bravo 0 November Oscar Oscar. I don't have to write that on my arm next time, so I don't make a fool of myself. Anybody else north?
KC9 ETS, Paul, Mobile, North Mount Juliet.
Ah, very good, Paul. Where are you in Mobile tonight?
The tippy top of Saunders Ferry Road.
Ah, okay, well, you're not too far away then, but your mobile station is doing just fine.
Okay, thanks. Yes, thanks for time I use this radio on the net. It's 400 with a quarter wave on the top of the roof, so glad I made it.
Yeah, you're doing great. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Echo Tango Sierra, and it's Paul. He's normally right here in Mount Juliet where he lives, but he was mobile over on Saunders Ferry Road. Who else north or late checking?
Alpha 4, Delta Echo, Daniel, Mount Juliet.
Hey, Daniel, there's another Mount Juliet. Denison, as we say, that's Alpha 4 Delta Echo. Good signal, but again, that's a false report coming from somebody so close. You doing all right, Daniel?
Doing great, Paul.
Very good. Anybody else north or east or anywhere? Got nothing. Anybody copying that? I think I heard November 4 Zulu Papa Foxtrot. Is that correct? All right. I'm not exactly sure. We've talked before, but I don't remember where you are. Well, unfortunately, that wasn't a help because I can barely make out some of the words. Let me look you up real quick so I don't get that wrong.
Sounded like Will over at Radnor Lake.
It may be. Again, he's relatively new to me, so it's not like it's a memory function to me at this point. That November 4 Zulu Papa Foxtrot, and I believe that's the correct call.
Okay, I'm trying to get it. Zulu Papa Foxtrot.
Ah, very good. What did you do there?
I walked outside and up the a bit.
Okay, I think I still got the call wrong. It's November what? 4, and it's got Zulu Papa Foxtrot.
Yeah, it's Kilo November 4 Zulu Papa Foxtrot, and his name is Will in Nashville.
Okay, you're doing much better. You must be. Which radio? You must be using on the handheld.
Roger, I'm using a Yaesu ST70 with a little aftermarket antenna on it.
Yeah, that's the long antenna. Is that which one it is? That's like 17 inches or something like that?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I got you. Very good, Will. I knew you had to be on something. I didn't know where you were, if you were far away or just on a HT. It's because I can hear pretty good even on an HT if it's in a reasonable location. But anyway, that's Kilo, November 4, Zulu Papa Foxtrot, and that's Will in Nashville. Good to have you in there, Will. Appreciate you making the big effort to get in there because it is an effort on an HT, particularly Simplex. It's hard to, if people like Simplex, it's hard for them to keep an HT unless they live on a really high elevation and they got a great antenna like me. So maybe one of these days I'll do that. I'll do it on my HT with this antenna because we had pretty good copy the time I tested it on, if you can imagine it, on 0.05 watts on my Kenwood THF6A radio, and we had copy in, as far as I know, some directions about 20 miles, so it wasn't too shabby. So it proves that the antenna is everything. I mean, you can have the biggest, baddest, powerful, and rig in the world, but the antenna is not good. It's not going to do you a lot of good. We get really loud, bad signals. Anyway, who else is good to have you in there, though, Will? That's Kilo November for Zulu Papa Foxtrot. Who else, anywhere or any place? Please come in.
Kilo 4, Uniform Tango Sierra, Carl Glayville.
I heard another state. Hold on, I had Carl in there. Carl, gosh, your call eludes me. It's Kilo 4, Uniform Sierra. Hit me again.
Kilo 4, Uniform Tango Sierra.
Ah, that's what it was missing. Very good. Uniform Tango Sierra. So that's Carl in Gladeville. Kilo 4, Uniform Tango Sierra. Who was the other breaker in there? All right. I hope somebody copied some of that because I didn't. All I heard was the words, but I couldn't make out what they were. No copy. You want to try it again and get on your tippy toes or wherever you are? I'll leave that as a question mark. I'm not sure who that is. I hope you can get into the better location or something because it's. I heard you, but I didn't know who it was. Just breaking the squelch. That's all it's doing. I'm sorry. No. Well, try email me if you will, please. Just let me know who that is. Do we have any other stations? That's Kilo 4, Papa Echo Whiskey at ARRL.net. Who else is any place, anywhere? Please come in. Heard a breaker in there again, but no copy though. Yeah, sorry, still no copy. Nobody else is copying that station or even hearing it?
I don't hear a thing.
Boy, oh boy, you need a new antenna. Clean that thing up or something.
I'm hearing Paul, but I can't it's just not breaking a squelch.
Yeah, I got a squelch breaker, and I can hear him talking. I just can't understand what's being said. All right, any other stations before we move on? Please come now. Got nothing. Well, we had 30 check-ins, at least for now, and maybe some in a few minutes. I don't really know. I just want to remind you again that the 10-meter net's going to immediately follow as soon as we finish here, and we're going to try to finish, if I'm sure we will, before 9 o'clock. I've been prone to want to do that. We've had nets that go in an hour and 40 minutes, and I don't mind doing the net, but I think it runs long, really long, for a lot of people to run that long. This is not a good idea. But anyway, just want to remind everybody that the breakfast is coming Saturday, which is at 8 a.m. at Charlie Daniels Park, Pavilion 5. And I want to make sure everyone knows that it's very important to wear masks. And you can bring your own coffee. And somebody might bring donuts, but and they'll be untouched when you see them. So that's it. Or you can bring your own, or you can bring nothing. But we got last week, we didn't have very many. We had about 4 people, 2 weeks ago, excuse me. We had only about 4 people there, but we still had a good time. Met 2 guys that I had never met before, so that was, I won't say it's a thrill, but it's always good to meet hams that are on the air, with us, because I don't know, all I see of them is the S meter and hear them talking. So I have to develop my own ideas about who I'm looking at, or who I'm listening to, I should say. But anyway, that's Pavilion 5, and that's right near the tennis courts. It's a big pavilion, so there's lots of room for social distancing, and you can be comfortable in the early morning there in the park, even though it gets hotter in the afternoon, and we're usually out of there anytime you want to leave, but it's anywhere from 8:30 to 10 o'clock. Does anybody have any questions about that or apprehensions about going to the park? Please don't come if you do have apprehensions about coming, obviously. So I don't want anybody to be sick or get sick.
Echo Alpha Charlie.
Yeah.
Hey, has anybody heard the status? I got a text from the individual, that being Danny, WE4E. Just want to check and see if anybody knows his status or how he is doing today.
No, I haven't heard Danny in probably a week.
Okay, so he's been on the air since his operation, I take it.
Well, I knew he was going to have some kind of an operation. Oh yeah, I did. I did know about that, but I didn't know when it was. That was the problem. So I'm assuming he's still off the air because I have not heard one peep out of him. And as you know, I just sit on the radio all day long. I got nothing better to do.
Roger. Yeah, I think he mentioned in his text that it was going to take a while for him to get back on all 8 cylinders. I hope that'll be a speedy recovery. I want to say hi to Mike. I know he had an issue here recently, so hope he's doing well. W4EAC, I'll catch you guys over on 415 10-meter phone.
Yeah, very good. Any other questions, comments, concerns regarding this net, this part of the net, before we move on to 10 meters? Well, let's
Comment.
Yeah, go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, I'll break down that tomorrow.
Okay, very good. I did want to ask, though, I guess the general discussion was, even though I detest the idea that we have to wear masks, and I say that in a nice way, I think it's important that we all adhere to that. And I just wondered if somebody had contrary opinions, because it's annoying to me. Whenever I wear a mask in the store, by the time I get out, I can't wait to rip it off because I got my whole mouth looks like it feels like it's covered in sweat because of the condensation ends up on my mustache and on my lips and my nose, and but I still do it. I still do it, and I do avoid touching anybody, and I don't touch anything unless I absolutely have to. It sounds silly, but I'm no spring chicken anymore, and I don't think I need to be exposed to a virus unless I just simply can't avoid it, and I can avoid it at least in principle. I just think it's unavoidable, though. If I mean, how do you avoid when you go shopping and you pick up a can and somebody else picked up the same can and they got the virus on it? So I don't know how you avoid that. I guess you got to avoid touching your face all the time. Anyway, does that have any issues with that mask like I do? I mean, I do it, but I just don't like it.
I'm with you, Paul. I do it, but I don't like it at all. W4AWE.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, it's a pain, but it's a small price to pay to be sick and dead.
Oh, no, I agree. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying do it. I just grin and bear it. I do it. I went to pick up a pizza yesterday here in Mount Juliet, and inside the door there was another guy waiting for food. He wasn't wearing a mask, and the clerk was wearing a mask at the register. And then there was a table with 6 men, 40 to 50 years old. None of them were wearing masks, sitting next to each other and across from each other on a very small table. And I thought, doesn't anybody want to abide by this? It's weird.
KG460.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah, I'm basically sweating like you mentioned by the time I get out of the grocery, but and it bothers me when someone else in the grocery is not wearing it and everybody else is, but that's a pet peeve, I guess. Outdoors, I'm good with it as long as it's 6 feet, but if they say we have to do it, like the other guy said, it's a small price.
Oh no, absolutely. I'm not averse to doing any of those things, and it's difficult even under the best of circumstances. I mean, wearing the mask is relatively easy. It's hard walking by people in the aisles, not to walk close to them, but if somebody was coughing or sneezing, I guess I might be upset, but I haven't seen that yet. But what I'm getting at, it's just this is unusual times, and I'm trying to figure out, for instance, I mentioned in an email today to the group that I'm trying to figure out if they open school August 3rd, which is only, 20-something days away. I mean, it's July 8th, and so that leaves, 24 plus 3? It's 27 days away for school. And if they open schools and any of the children are or have been infected, they're going to bring it home to their parents and in turn the wider family. And I don't know what the answer to that is.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't happen. I think that's a dangerous idea. I think the remote school, if they can pull it off, that's what should happen.
Well, as you know, there's some barriers to that because I guess not everybody has internet access, not everybody has computers, not everybody has working computers, not everybody has the kind of the resources at home, and maybe they didn't bring books home, and I don't know how they'd manage that logistically.
Oh yeah, it's going to cost them some money to get all the kids prepared for something like that. They're going to need hotspots and laptops of some type, tablets.
Well, some high schools. I don't know about junior high schools. I've heard of schools doing that, though. They issue laptops as soon as they go to school, and they have to manage them, and they replace them. I don't think they're real sophisticated laptops. They might just be web access laptops with some, Word functions or Excel functions or whatever. I don't know. We shall see. I hope it goes well because I can only. It's like Ron Wiley, who is a doctor on this net here. Well, he's on. I don't know if it's ever checked in, but he was mentioning in the email about his concern is it, as this seemingly explodes. Seemingly, he didn't say explodes. As it grows large, if people aren't paying attention to the details, that it's going to overburden the hospitals that aren't overburdened now. I mean, they're already used more than they have been. And so if you end up with a whole bunch of people just because of not wearing masks and because of not paying attention to social distancing, that there's going to be some serious repercussions in the community. And then I can imagine the politicians will say, okay, we're going to lockdown again because we can't afford to have any restaurants open at all. We can't afford to have any school at all. We can't afford to have anything, except for the liquor stores, of course. That seems to be the liquor stores seem to be the exception to the rule. Any other commentary on that before we move?
Would you repeat the question, KI4SIB?
Oh, I was just saying that does anybody have a serious aversion to wearing a mask? Or, I mean, I don't think anybody is, I can't imagine anybody on this net going out without a mask. I have forgotten a couple of times, and I kind of pounded myself for forgetting to bring it along with me because normally I stick it in my pocket. But I've seen people driving down the street with masks on and they're alone in their car. So I find that a little odd, but I guess they don't want to, it's just easier to leave it on, take it off when they get home. But, just like you've been in the healthcare world of EMS, EMT stuff for the city of Mount Juliet or Wilson County, I think it was. And I'm pretty sure your take is pretty similar, that you should wear a mask.
Oh, absolutely. And if I were still working, you bet your bottom dollar I'd have a mask on every time I got out of the truck at a call. And even where I'm working now, we're being required to wear one. So, yeah, I mean, the way I'm looking at it, if it helps in the long run to slow it down or stop it or whatever they're trying to accomplish with it, I'm all about it. But I'm not gonna lie, it's aggravation of the devil.
Oh, it is. Now, I tried to imagine. I hadn't given it much thought until I saw the news. I think it was today, and it showed how the screeners at the airport. I believe it was Nashville's, BNA. And the screen. How'd you like to be a screener, handling everybody's ID, their tickets, looking at going through their bags? What are their odds of surviving without getting the virus?
Well, that you gotta know that's a touchy situation and very volatile, I'd say.
I don't know. I think I'd be wearing a hazmat suit if I were a screener.
I wouldn't blame you if you did, and I wouldn't blame them for doing it either. But it's cumbersome enough wearing the mask yourself. But I'm satisfied they're using some kind of a glove down there too, and the mask and all what I don't know what to do. But either way, I'd like to think they're taking every precaution to protect the people working.
I'm guessing they're doing a lot of precautions, but like I said, it seems inevitable that a lot more people are going to get the virus, particularly as more businesses open up and more people ignore the warnings. And if they open the schools, I think it's going to go nuts.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, let's say all kinds of people get it. They're diagnosed with it. What's the death rate? Honest to goodness, what is the death rate? I don't think it's substantial. I don't want anybody to die from it, mind you, but it's going to happen because underlying health conditions and age and all kinds of things come into play. But in my humble opinion, I don't think that it's any worse than the flu we've been dealing with for the last 15, 20, whatever years. And I would like to think, too, that at some point, somebody will stumble across something that will curtail it. But I don't know that. I'm sure they're doing research trying to find that. And more power to them. But I'm very skeptical about a lot of the information that we're being fed from different sources.
Well, I agree with you. It seems as though we're getting conflicting data, but ultimately, to be responsible, wearing a mask and avoiding being with other people would be just two of the simple rules that aren't that hard to obey. I don't know how to say it better than that. I mean, if I could only send my wife to get groceries, I guess I could do that. But certain things I've done, and I do have limited my activities a great deal since this whole thing started, and I think a lot of other people have too. But like I said, when I see really seven of the 8 people that walked into the restaurant were not wearing masks, I went, well, including me, it's 7 out of 10. 7 out of whatever it was, 6, 7 out of 9 were not wearing masks, and it confuses me because I'm thinking, are they live in the same city I do?
Well, you well know that there are those that live in bubbles, and everything happens to everybody else but them.
Well, again, see, that's even that when you talk about the fatality rate from COVID-19, that's even if I think I heard today it's 0.04%. You go, oh, that's great. It's really low. Well, tell the people who died, their families about that. And of course, it becomes a different issue because even again, I don't know how different it is. I couldn't tell you than other flus. I know other flus have been pretty bad. But the fact is, we know that this one has taken quite a toll, and I don't think I want to take a chance. Anyway, any more comments before I move on?
KV9RKK.
Hey, Frank.
Oh, I'm just going to add one thing to it that I've seen. It doesn't actually have to do with getting the disease itself, but the fact that it's out there. And I know they've lowered some of the restrictions, but what you have going on is some collateral stuff. People, especially older people or sick people, they're not going to the hospital. They don't want to die alone. They're not letting relatives in there. You know what I mean? So people are taking big chances because of it. So the sooner we can get rid of it, the better.
Oh, no question about it. That's one of the things I thought of. Every time I hear somebody who goes in the hospital for something else, they're stuck. And the family's stuck. I guess I can talk to them on the phone if they're able to, but they're really stuck. They won't see they don't know what's going on. I mean, on an hour by hour or day by day basis, unless they talk to the person or the staff.
Yeah, I mean, my brother-in-law is, he's getting up there in age, and he's been in there, possible heart trouble and stuff, and his wife couldn't even go see him, and then she was just in there, and he couldn't go in there. And so it's tough. So you have to, people are making decisions like, this may be the last time I see my family. I don't want to go in the hospital. So that's the part that I hate. As far as the death rate, we won't know really till we can compare it. Until the year is over, we can compare it to last year, or somebody would have to do that. That's going to give you the true death rate. Because the other problem I have, the rate that even Richard just quoted, I know it's less than 1%. That's also inflated in BS. Because, like, I have it on video where the Surgeon General of Illinois was saying, and she was trying to be truthful. I'm just being truthful. She's like, just to be very clear, you're in hospice on your deathbed for something else, but you test positive after you die, we're going to mark you down as COVID.
Oh, absolutely. But again, it doesn't change the idea that we certainly don't want. Again, I really believe the reason that most of this is being accomplished, because we can't have, forgetting how many people in the fatality rate, we can't have, triple or quadruple the number of people who need to be hospitalized at the same time, because it's going to screw up everything in the healthcare system.
Right. I know, and there's so many sides. Here's the problem: one size doesn't fit all. And some experts are saying they should have never closed the schools in the first place. They weren't the trouble. And they shouldn't have closed all the businesses. We should have just all been wearing masks. We should have been following the rules, but they went overkill, and it got everybody upset, and everybody's antsy. Nobody wants to go back to lockdowns. But eventually, if we don't change what we're doing, it's going to happen. We're going to get back into lockdown. So I guess the easy answer is wear a mask. But you remember, the mask is not for you. It's for the other person. That's who you're trying to prevent. Because, for all I know, I already had it, and it didn't do nothing to me. But that doesn't prevent me from giving it to somebody else that may have a problem. So that's why you got to wear the mask.
No, I agree. You're absolutely right, Frank. We're doing it for each other, really. And I know that when I had the flu a few years ago, it wasn't this flu, obviously. Well, maybe it was. I don't know. But I was sick as a dog. And then my wife got the same flu. And she got so sick, I honestly thought she was going to die. I mean, she was just in terrible pain, terrible discomfort, terrible, GI, I'm not going to explain it over the air. And really, she was so sick. And a flu can be a terrible thing, even to seemingly healthy people. So it's like I heard, I think Dale said on an email that, a 35-year-old healthy father of several children passed away due to COVID-19. And you don't even think about that being an issue, that it's either old people or infirm people or, So anyway, I'm not trying to overstate the case, but the fact is we're trying to keep people out of the hospital. We're trying to keep people from, who shouldn't be infected. I don't think I should be infected at 71. Okay? But to me, it's that simple.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I just wanted to, throw it out. There's so many different things. I think, like everyone is saying, yeah, it sucks to wear it. Nobody likes it. I hate it. It's aggravating. But think about those medical people and all these people that have to wear it all the time. I mean, I guess they get used to it. But can you imagine? You can't take it off. You got to wear it constantly. At least you get, I'm working from home. So to me, the best part about working from home is I don't have to wear the mask all day. I just have to wear it when I go out. So, yeah, I guess that gives me a little bit of something positive to look at. Turn it back over to you, KB, not RKK.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm familiar with what you're talking about. Not only when I worked in the hospital, I had to, not all the time, but I had to do testing inside the operating rooms in the operating room suite. And it was several hours when I had to do it. And not only did I have to put on a mask, I had to put on a hat and I had to put on the scrubs. And I didn't like that either, but I complied because those are the rules. And again, I'm encouraging everyone to not skip wearing a mask. I'm not saying, I don't think the government can make it mandatory. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried. I think somebody has tried, but just do it. Live with the results. Save me from getting the flu. Okay, I don't want to die. At least not yet. Not today. Not this week. Not this year. All right. Anyway, one more last time before I move on. Any more comments?
Yeah, W4AWE.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
Well, I mean, the thing is, science doesn't care about opinions or politics, and the CDC, who's generally called it straight, put out these exact recommendations way back in March. It's just people decided to make it political and didn't follow it, and now we're paying the price for it. And the common sense reality is, knowing what we know now, anytime you see somebody in a social close contact setting who is not wearing a mask, that's someone who has absolute disdain for their fellow man.
Oh, absolutely. Or they're just stupid.
We're all rowing the same boat here, and if we don't help take care of each other, it's going to be a major disaster, which is turning into.
Yep, I got you, John. Very good. Final last words. I mean, those are good final words. We need to be doing it it's for our family and other people's families. It was so interesting to see these days when I have gone over to Walmart. I think the last time I was going by Walmart in the parking lot. Because I would go to Lowe's and I had to go through the Walmart parking lot. And it just seemed funny to see a woman, and she had 3 children with her. And it seemed she's wearing a mask and all 3 kids are wearing a mask. And you go, I've never seen this before in my entire life. It just looks funny. Anyway, I have seen it in Japan. I've seen it in the movies. They get very hyper about smells and odors and things. Anyway. All right. Well, listen, I'm going to close this portion of the net. We're going to move over to the 10-meter net, and it's 28.415 upper sideband. And we're doing that right now, K4PEW.
I want you to know if John can hear me in Bellevue.
John, were you copying Richard in Lebanon? I think he went over to 10 meters. You're going to have to ask him there.
Y'all carry on. Thank you.
I'll ask him. K4PEW.
Okay, that's where it's at, big.
All right, this is K4PEW with the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net on 10 meters upper sideband, taking check check-ins from the west, please come now.
KM4YRF, Michael Belshire.
Very good. We got KM4YRF in Belshire. A nice signal. Who else is west?
Whiskey 4 Echo Alpha Charlie, Nashville.
Very good. We got Alan, Whiskey 4 Echo Alpha Charlie in Nashville, Donaldson. Who else is west? Please come now. Ah, very good. Signal's a little low there, John, but that's Whiskey 4 Alpha, Whiskey Echo. Is there something different? No, you're just a little low on the signal, you know, on the audio tonight.
Maybe it's conditions. Everything here looks like it's loading up.
I just want to make sure. You'll be able to hear that on the audio if you want to, and that would be at 8:50, about 55 minutes after the hour, if you want to see that, or about 54 maybe. All right, who else is west? Please come in. I heard somebody in there. Is anybody else copying that?
It's KM4 CPS.
Kilo November 4 is Zulu Papa Foxtrot, I believe that was, right?
Yes, it's Will.
Yep, Will. Very good, Will. Little light on that audio as well. Maybe it's me, but I don't think it is. But how's the signal to you, Michael?
It was low but copyable.
Okay, it is a little low, and if I had headphones on, it would be more copyable, I assure you. All right, very good. That's Kilo November 4 Zulu Papa Foxtrot, Will in Nashville. Who else is west?
Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor, Jack and Donaldson.
All right, very good, Jack. Thanks for hanging in there for that round table BS session we had about the masts. That's Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor. Who else is west? All right, down to the south then, please come on. One more time. I think it was Kilo Echo 4 what? Who was that last station, please?
KM4 BTH.
BTH or VTH?
Yeah. B Victor TH.
Okay, very good. Just want to make sure I had that right. All right. I said I couldn't figure out if it was B or V. Anyway, that's Kilo November 4 Victor Tango Hotel, and that's Mike by Hobson Pike. Mike, your audio is also a little low. Of course, this may be me, but I'm hearing Michael over in Belshire real good. Michael, are you? I mean, not Michael. Yeah, Mike. In Kilo November 4 Victor Tango Hotel. What is what's kind of antenna you using there? Okay, well that may explain some of it because I'm vertical, and Michael, are you hearing him the same way on the other side of, because he's south of you in Nashville?
Yeah, his signal is very low. I have headphones on, so I can just barely hear it.
All right, very good, Mike. Yeah, that I know which antenna that is, and it's probably that's why it's a little low to me and Michael. Michael's wearing headphones. The Michael in the north in Belshire. I probably should wear headphones for these events as well. But I can hear you, but I'd be better hearing you with headset on. But I just want to let you know on that NVIS versus my vertical and Michael's vertical, it's a little low, so I think that's part of the problem. And I'm glad you could hear but you can hear other stations pretty good. You can hear the other stations pretty well. All right, very good. No problem. I just want to make sure. I think I will start wearing headphones for the 10-meter net, though. Who else is wherever I was? West, north or west? No, west. That's where I was. All right, the southwest. Please come now. Got any south stations in here? I heard nothing. Nothing south. Over to the east, then. Please come now. All right, nothing east or south. I didn't copy that. Is that Stan? It's Rusty. Rusty in Murfreesboro?
That sounded like Stan to me.
All right, I put headphones on. Let's try that one more time, please. That last station, please. Come now. The last station, any place, anywhere, please come now. East or all points. I'm not copying anything now. Even went to the trouble of putting on headphones. Didn't help. Okay, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stations, but I don't know who the last station was. One more time on that last station, please. It was you. Okay, very good. Was there something different going on there? I just put the headphones on. I can hear you better. I mean, were you doing anything different between the 2 times, the several times there? Stan? I said, were you doing anything different on these last transmissions to make them better? Okay, very good. I can hear you, but now I've got headphones on, so it's a little better for my hearing here. Okay, good to have you in there, Stan. All right, is any other check-ins before we wrap her up? KB9RK, there was a couple in there. KB9RKK about blew my ears off because I'm wearing the headphones. But yeah, try to back off the mic a little bit, Frank. You're killing me. All right, very good. We got Frank. There was another station there. Please come now. No, you're good that time, Mark. Very good. And I didn't have to repeat the call there. No, Whiskey Bravo 0 November Oscar Mark in Northwest Wilson. Is there any other stations? No, I think that's it. One more time, any place, anywhere, north, south, east, or west. Ships at sea, dirigibles, and aircraft. No lurkers, sandbaggers, lollygaggers. All righty, we'll start at the bottom. Mark checked in. Whiskey Bravo 0 November Oscar here, Northwest Wilson, as well as Frank. Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo in Northwest Wilson. Stan Kilo Mike 4 Hotel Quebec Echo in Lebanon, and Mike Kilo November 4 Victor Tango Hotel in Nashville, and Jack in Donaldson Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor, along with Will Kilo November 4 Zulu Papa Foxtrot. That is such a wild name to me, but he's in Nashville as well. Not a name, it's a wild call. Zulu Papa. It's hard for me to say it. It's like a tongue twister. Anyway, John, Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo in Bellevue. Alan, of course, Whiskey 4 Echo Alpha Charlie in Donaldson. And who was it? Mike, Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot in Bellshire. Myself, Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey here in the peak of Mount Juliet. You have to climb it sometime to see me. It's really quite a task. Anyway, that's it for tonight. Does anybody have any late check-ins or anything else before I close? Well, very good. Closing that. I'll be over on 2 Meter FM here momentarily, so you guys have a great night. Thanks for your participation. K4PEW. Mm-hmm.